costs close to $200. Man, what am I doing wrong?
Hell yeah.
Don't care a little bit. It's a talk to God moment. Like, God damn, is this me? Am I on the right career path?
Life of a gambler, man.
Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
No, that's funny.
It's always over until you're back.
Man. The madness is real. And the madness is here. Buzzer beaters galore. More overtime games than your grandma can wish for. The madness is truly in front of our faces. Yesterday was the proof. Today will be the pudding. Big Friday before a lot of these final games, a bunch of semifinal games today, bunch of quarterfinal games today before Saturday wraps up everything. Everything? Everything. Sunday, we get the last few games of the season, and then that beautiful bracket. 2 days, 10 hours, 43 minutes, about 25 seconds away from being right here in front of our faces. Today, I have my man, Jaden Chandler Parnell from the JC Pod on YouTube. He's going to be here talking madness with me. We're going to talk some teams that's already punched their ticket for a second. Then I want to dive into today's games. As a gambler knows, there's no game like the next game. Today is a beautiful day of betting basketball from wire to wire, kicking off with Michigan State and Purdue in about 3.5, 4 hours from now, rolling all the way through 1 in the morning Central Time. There is a midnight tip off that I cannot wait for. Colorado State and New Mexico in the Mount West. Two teams I've been loving and rooting for all season. Two teams who need to solidify their spot in the bracket. We will also talk a few other teams looking to solidify their spots in the bracket. Yesterday was about 8 or 9 teams that needed a win, and I believe only 3 or 4 of them got that win. For the last time this entire year till November. This will be the last time you hear me say Memphis, for they lost to Wichita State last night, yesterday. Uh, butt slapping fashion. Wichita State, the whole game was all up in Memphis's wedgie area. A few other teams we'll talk about, but without further ado, we might as well dive right in it. My man, JCP from the JC Pod. What's the dang dealio, my man?
Man, I tell you what, I thought I was having a good morning. Shout out Bears fans, man. My Bears fans are going off this morning. Get Keenan Allen. Wake up to them getting Keenan Allen in a trade. Yeah, no, it's been great, man. You know, starting off the day, hearing my friends being happy in the off season. Again, just that in, but no, we're honestly all doing great. Shout out to the Bears though, for real. They might actually be a football team. Shout out.
How
About
you
to
feel
figure it
about Kirk
out.
Cousins to Atlanta?
I actually think that's a
Who
really great
cares
move
what
for
you feel
Atlanta.
about Kirk Cousins to Atlanta? It's March,
Snuck
baby.
it in
We're
there.
not talking football here. Nah, I'm messing with you, man. I just messing with you. They're doing some little rock impersonation there.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak it in before the Rock just dunked on me. He's in Atlanta. It's good.
Yeah. Now
I
you
know
can
it.
really give your true thoughts because that is a huge move in the NFC South and in the NFC period. The Falcons moved up to the sixth favorite in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
I'll say we can make it quick because, like you said, it is March Madness. We should probably talk about college basketball, but no, honestly, I think it's a solid move for them. Nothing, can't complain about it. I mean, it's you're getting a 35-year-old quarterback, so that is a bit scary. But in this age of the league, I mean, that's okay. I mean, he has target. They have good young weapons. Their issue was they had a quarterback who couldn't get him the ball. Now they got a quarterback that can get him the ball. I mean, we saw his success in Minnesota. So, I think it's a solid move. I mean, it's not like a altering move where all of a sudden now they should be Super Bowl favorites, but I definitely think it went from the Bucks for sure. It's the Bucks division now where the Viking or yeah, sorry, the Falcons, not Vikings. Excuse me. The Falcons are now like, hey, we got to stay in this too. And then your salary Saints man signing Nathan Peterman as their backup. Explosive moves out of New Orleans.
Oh, baby, we're keeping up with the times, baby. Keeping up with the times.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Nah, it's been a wild NFL offseason. Obviously, we could spend hours on it with how many moves there've been. We don't got to, obviously, but man, NFL's been going crazy this offseason with some of the moves they've been making.
I couldn't tell you one move, but I can guarantee you this.
Oh, you can tell me one for sure. You know one, guaranteed one. Your boy Michael Thomas. That's about it.
Wasn't even thinking about it. Didn't even register yet. Like I knew it, but I haven't like
That's
you
crazy.
think about football like August 7th. I'm gonna be like, oh
And you'll
shit,
be
they
like,
got Michael
damn, where's
Thomas
Michael
going.
Thomas? You're like, damn,
Shit.
where's 13 at?
Nah, bro, I'm head and shoulders into a hole like an ostrich in March Madness, and whatever part
Oh
of my
yeah.
body ain't on March Madness. Thinking about baseball. Speaking of March Madness, let's talk about some of these small schools real quick. A lot of the small conferences. They're already finished. You got teams like Stetson out of the ASUN, Montana State out of the Big Sky, Big South Longwood Lancers, Charleston out of Coastal Athletic, Oakland out of the Horizon League, Drake, of course, out of Missouri Valley, Wagner in the Northeast, Ohio Valley is Morehead State, and then you got Colgate out of the Patriot League. Southern League is
Shout
Sanford,
out.
who's a nice team. Sanford 29-5. I haven't talked about yet. McNeese State out of the Southland, South Dakota State out of the Summit, Sunbelt James Madison 31-3. Wow. And then you have, of course, St. Mary's out of the WCC. Out of these small schools, is there any one, two, or three schools that you think, hey, this team might make a run to the Sweet 16? Um, any of these small schools, not, I don't want to say scare you as far as busting up your bracket, but are any of them you think you're going to take a flyer on first round, second round? Or is it all dependent on matchups
Longwood.
for you?
No, I think it's a for sure. Obviously, all dependent on matchups, but shout out to some of those small teams though. Every small, all these, a lot of these small teams have like really cool, interesting stories. Like I don't know if you mentioned it, but Oakland and Michigan. By the way, just learned that. Learned there's an Oakland and Michigan the other day. That was pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. There's an Oakland that's going to be like a 15 seed in this tournament. That's from Michigan. There's a coach been there 40 plus years. Only other coach beside Boeheim that's done it. So when you hear stuff like that, it's awesome. It gets me really excited for these small schools. Another one I want to talk about, I think it's Stanford, I believe, or Sam Hughes. I think it's Stanford.
Yeah.
They have a coach that run full press like the whole game. I believe that's wild. That's some small school stuff right there. Apparently they're
Yeah.
smaller, so that's why they run that. I would say McNeese State. I mean, if we're being real, I'm just naming small schools and cool stuff I've learned about them. I only have one school that I'm really interested in, small school wise, is McNeese State. I mean, if you consider Grand Canyon a small school, I don't mind them either. But I mean, I would consider them slightly bigger than some of these. I really don't have like much expectation from a lot of these smaller schools. It's just more of like I'm excited to see what they kind of do in the tournament because it's always get a hard read because I feel like always a 28-3 ends up with a really like kind of weird matchup sometimes, and you get the 21-10 smaller conference school that goes on a run because, like you said, they just happen to be playing Auburn, then they play Kentucky, then they play Wisconsin back to back to back, and then boom, Sweet 16. Yeah, I'm excited for McNeese State just mainly because of the coaching. I don't mind Stetson as well. I can't sit here and tell you numbers about Stetson, but just what I've seen, like the small like 3 games I think I've seen from them. I've liked what I've seen from them on paper. But yet again, Stetson's probably going to end up playing somebody like Purdue in the second round. Then it's like, well, that sucks. It's fun rooting for you guys for 2 games. But McNeese State is my true underdog. Like if I had to pick only one, I really do like what I've seen from McNeese State, which is I'm sure just people like he's just saying what the red beard says every week. But I mean, might not be wrong. McNeese State's been pretty good. The way that they rolled through their tournament. Holy hell!
Man. No, they put an exclamation point on this season for sure. McNeese State is the team I'm betting no matter what. Money line first round. It'll break my heart
Yep.
if they play like in Illinois, but I'm a rider with them regardless. James Madison, of course, we saw him beat Michigan State on the first night of the season, and
I
then
do like them as well.
you really haven't heard much about them since. But they are 31-3, definitely looking to prove that they belong. You said Samford full court press all game.
I believe it's them.
The
Them or
29-5.
Houston.
I like Samford a lot. I don't know if they're gonna do anything, but Samford, Charleston, Drake, McNeese, James Madison, uh,
Hey,
definitely looking for those 5 schools. I'll be taking some numbers with them at least in the first round. I'm excited, man. We got the madness. It's coming together. The tournament's coming together. The field's coming together. Within
when do we officially
24
learn? Monday, right? Like
Sunday,
Monday is the official day. Sundays. Oh, okay.
Selection Sunday.
I always feel like there's tournament games on Sunday, and they wait till like 5 p.m. So I just consider it Monday. I feel like I could be totally wrong. I
Oh
always
no,
forget how the selection works.
it's gonna be 3 or 4 games Sunday. SEC championship, Big Ten championship.
That's
Uh,
what throws me off. Is like, why do you have these championships and then you choose the bracket same day? Like, I thought brackets should be its own thing, but who am I?
hey, one day you'll get with the traditions, son. Selection Sunday, it's a holiday. 5 p.m.
No, trust me.
start.
I got they move the championship dates. I'm that selection Sunday be its own thing. Damn it. That's what I
Nah,
think. I think we
man,
should.
I love it because you get to root for the Big Ten championship, the last game of the season, and then you get to season's over with. You think you get the chance to relax, you make you some food, and then you get the bracket, and then you get to stay up all night Sunday breaking it down, moving stuff around,
That's fair. Hey, I might be out of my waters here. So you know what? I'll take a step back then.
and then
Yeah,
Monday
I
morning.
just honestly forgot that there was honestly championship games when they have selection Sunday. That's just totally me overlooking it. I always forget that every year. That's like how like an old person with dementia every year when it comes to selection Sunday. I always forget there's games. I'm just like, wait, we got games on Sunday?
Hell yeah.
Dumbass boy.
Yeah, I believe it's SEC championship, CAA championship, Big Ten championship, and it might be one more. I think there's a Division II championship game too for some reason.
Shout out to I forget which two conferences it was, but shout out to more of the small schools moving their conferences to like Tuesday and Wednesday nights. That's something else I wanted to bring up. That's like kind of thought off a side note, but it's a lot cooler to get to see some of these smaller schools get a chance to shine earlier in the week and not get like bumbled up because yeah, like that Division II school playing on Sunday. Like I hate to say it, but everyone's watching SEC, Big Ten, and the CAA, which sucks for them. So shout out to a lot of
Yeah.
these smaller conferences. They're like getting their games earlier in the week, which I mean might be somewhat of a detriment to them, but at the same time, it gives them a little bit more exposure.
Nah, yeah, I love it, man. It's always every year you get them schools you never heard of. That's all of a sudden the first team to punch their ticket is Sanford, and you're like, all right, I
Right?
gotta figure out who the Sanford is.
And then you hear Stetson. It's like that's I have an uncle named Stetson. What the hell?
Yeah, yeah.
No, always stuff like that. Do we have, by the way, before we move on, do we have a team that's like won their conference tournament yet that kind of shouldn't have won? It's like a lower.
Oh,
I
Longwood
forget who it was.
Lancers.
Was it Longwood? I couldn't remember what team it was.
There's a few of them, man. Longwood Lancers 21-13. I mean, they were like fifth place in their division though, in their conference when they
Yeah,
won
that's
it.
what. Yeah, they
Montana
were the team I
State
think I was thinking
17
of.
and 17.
Yeah, teams
Uh,
like that. They're like 8 and 10 in conference, just having to win their conference tournament. I couldn't remember. I knew there was like one or two, like you said. I just couldn't remember.
Wagner 16 and 15 on the season.
That might be who the real one I was thinking of. That was like somehow like 5 and 10 in their conference play, and they just ran through their tournament. I think that's who it was. I was learning about it a little bit yesterday. Yeah, they played Merrimack, right?
But yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be one of the teams I was thinking of. I didn't realize that those other two teams then. Yeah, because I was thinking of Wagner. I didn't even realize there was more than just Wagner in this tournament that was like that
No,
already.
Montana State came out of nowhere, bro. Literally, like if you look at their full game, like their full season, it's just like red,
Yeah.
red, 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 green, red, red, green, green, red, 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 red. And then all of a sudden they just went 3 in a row, and now they're in the tournament.
I was about to say, all of a sudden they beat Weber State, beat them again, beat Sacramento, beat Montana. Boom, in the conference. That's crazy. I just looked at their schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's in the great word of SXU, whole lot of red.
Yeah.
There is a lot of red on there. Oh my goodness, boy. Shout out,
No,
man. This is what makes March Madness so fun is you forget like teams that are like, man, that team's 3 and 19 and they're in the conference championship. What?
Dude,
Oh,
all year we're hearing about these teams. That's why I laugh at a lot of people. They try to get ahead of everything. At some point, you just kind of gotta wait for everything to unfold. Because we hear about Merrimack all season. We hear about North Texas all season. We hear about these teams. Even Dayton, they go down yesterday in the second round of their tournament. We hear about these teams that are supposed to be locks all season, and then we get to March, and hey, where is
Dayton,
Merrimack?
man. Dayton.
Bro, that's a question for that I'm scared to even ask or answer.
Woo, I was wondering that. I knew that loss was big, but I didn't know how big it was. I'm not gonna lie. These bubble teams, it's getting scary, man.
Nah, it
We're
is.
running out of time.
I think even the committee is shaking up. Like I haven't heard, seen, thought anything about Dayton. They're still a 9 seed, and this thing was updated after they lost.
I was about to say that's why they didn't leave that little list for us today. They honestly have no idea what the hell they're gonna do, so they're covering their own tracks. Like, hey, we ain't got no fucking clue, boy.
They're like, dude, the
Oklahoma,
last thing we planned for was Dayton losing.
we're like Dayton lost,
Oh my
Oklahoma
God.
lost. It's like, what the hell are we gonna do now? Iowa lost. Like, we don't know what to do. Those are the three teams we cared about the most.
Nah, literally, dude. You got Wake Forest losing. Nah, it was crazy. It was a crazy day yesterday. Yesterday was madness,
Wow.
man. Straight up madness.
First day
Teams
of it.
like Oregon, they got the win that they needed, but yeah,
Only by
UNLV.
2, though. So that was like a sweat. You had to sweat that one out. I mean, yeah, like you
Yeah,
said, Villanova. The next 4 out: Ohio State, Villanova, Wake Forest, Kansas State. 3 of those 4 are done.
yeah.
Indiana State, first 4 out. They're slowly just moving up. I know they're sweating their balls off right now. Like, man, can we get in?
I don't think so.
I
Especially
don't.
if
Yeah,
they
I don't
if
know
they
either
beat
anymore.
with Dayton losing and staying in, it's kind of like, yeah, bro, y'all, we don't care about y'all. Just because you got
And then
one
you
viral
go
kid that wears glasses, we don't give a damn.
right. And then you go to like the last 4 buys: Michigan State, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, St. John's. 2 of those 4 are out of the tournament right now. So, I mean, they're only going to start moving down, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be. This is wild, man. This is I forgot. Like, I'll just say I know how fun this part of the season is because I'm a sports person, but you always forget. Like, I feel like how crazy it can be because we just looked yesterday. I didn't even see Ohio State on this goddamn screen, and all of a sudden they beat Iowa in dominant fashion. By the way,
Hey,
and
easy money, baby. Iowa
I
minus
won't lie.
Ohio State.
I had a few games yesterday that made me want to jump off a bridge in game, not IRL, as some would say. That game was one of the few ones where it's like, all right, yeah, that felt good. That felt like what it should have been probably the whole game.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, man, I was waiting for a boyfriend though to do something. They kept cutting to him, like I'm waiting for him to do something, man. Come on now. I just don't know if I don't know if his heart was fully in it. This just because I think he knew down all game, like it's coming.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. They got teams today that's still back against the wall. I mean, you talk about Mississippi State being one of the last 4 buys. I mean, those kind of teams
Oh
want to
wait,
get a win. They want to solidify that, yeah, we do belong here. They're playing
they do
Tennessee,
play today. That's on me too.
10 and a
Yeah, they
half
play a
point dogs.
Tough Tennessee team.
Yeah. How you feel about we just start at the top and go through some of these games today, some of the bigger ones.
Oh yeah,
Michigan State, Purdue. I don't think Michigan State
woo!
needs a win, but I definitely think they don't need to get blown out.
Yeah, no, I think it's. By the way, this game is in what, like 3 and something hours, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Games at
Yeah.
12. I love. It's a great part of the season when you're getting games at noon, man. Start off your day either losing money or getting money. No,
Yes, sir.
moving to hopefully getting money. But yeah, no, I think it's one of those situations where I don't think this is a game that doesn't hurt either team, but Michigan State winning, I think, probably bumps. I think this is a good situation where we could see for Michigan State potentially what 1 or 2 seed change. They beat Purdue, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they might bump up from last 4 buys to they get all of a sudden they're like maybe a 10-9 seed, 8 seed maybe. If not, they're
Yeah.
probably
If
actually
if
stick around. What do they predict at now? Like at 8, 9, right?
uh
I
they're
believe
10
I
right
can't.
now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
If they beat Purdue, they'll probably solidify themselves as an 8 or a 9.
yeah. At the
Uh
lowest, if they win, the lowest they'll ever go in this bracket is 10 by far. But if they lose, I think there's a chance it could slip to like an 11. But I don't know. I also think it depends how close the game was. I think simply just for the fact that they played the game close, while all last game close, and then eventually won by 10. So they can turn it on. I just
yeah.
at Purdue, it feels the only thing that scares me for Purdue is they had 2 rolled ankles against them dirty boys of Wisconsin. I'm not gonna call kids out, man. Them boys, I didn't know if I was watching football for half a minute or basketball. It's kind of awesome. Watching shoulder checks, watching people just bounce off
Uh,
people. I mean, watching these
nah,
tight
they
closeouts. I mean, yeah. So we got two bum ankles on Purdue's team, so I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how serious Purdue takes this tournament. I would assume they obviously want to win it, but if they're a little banged up, I'm curious to see if Michigan State starts to pull away a little bit, if the horses get called off or the Wolves get called off, and we just kind of move on to the tournament. But I think Purdue wants to win this, get the first outright overall seed.
yeah, I think they need to for I
They
forget
they
the
could drop. Do you think they could drop to a two? That was the thing I was like biting my tongue on. I just don't know if they're going to drop to a two
nah, I
if
don't
it's
think
a
there's any
loss.
world where Purdue ends up being a 2 seed. I mean we've already seen man, I don't know. But I doubt it. I don't
I'm in a similar
I
boat. I
don't
would
see
agree.
Arizona or Tennessee jumping them.
I don't think this game. I'm not going to act like this game doesn't matter because obviously it's for the Big Ten championship. But
Put it to
I
you
don't think
like
this team.
this.
I don't think it'll affect either team too
They know they're not winning the big tournament. They want to win this tournament just to give
bad.
Zach Edey some kind of trophy. And also, region wise, they do want to be the #1 overall seed because the #1 overall seed plays in Indianapolis first two
Well,
rounds.
don't they get to choose? Actually, I thought the number one seed or is when do they? Are you talking about like later in the tournament they play in Indianapolis? I thought you wanted the number one overall seed because you get to choose your location, and the reason it didn't matter too much this year is because all these teams are going to end up in their locations they kind of want to be in anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think you get to choose. I mean, I could be wrong, but
Really?
I never heard a team being able to get to choose where they play.
Well, the number one complete overall seed gets to choose. Everyone else doesn't. That's why I think they were saying like most people, you want the number one seed because then if you win it, like say Houston wins it, they can say, oh, we want to play in the South or whatever. But that's what I was told. I have no idea how true this is, but regardless, that's what I heard. That's a thing. But then it doesn't matter this year because most years, like yes, say like Gonzaga wins it, they for sure want to be in the West Coast. This year, most of the teams I think are going to end up where they want to be, so they don't really care too much. That's what I heard. Like I said, I could be totally wrong about that, but
Yeah, that sounds like
that's just what I
a
assumed.
8-year-old told you some stuff at a bus stop. That's what it sounds like to me. But Purdue right now, #1 overall seed, plays in Indianapolis first two rounds. Number one, the second #1 overall seed plays in Brooklyn. UConn will be over there in Brooklyn. North Carolina will be in Charlotte. Houston will be in Memphis. So everybody will kind of be close to their home for the first two rounds. I don't know what that means for Purdue, but I definitely know that they would like it.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it's one of the things. Yeah, it's not. It would be really, really awesome to be number one seed and being the number one overall seed because I don't think that's ever happened in their history. So that's just something where boom, throw it through history. More history for Zach Edey if you want to throw it on there and make it all about Zach Edey.
For some reason, South Florida, the 23-6 team that ended the season on a 17-0 run, that went 16-2 during the conference play, is one of the teams that needs to win today and win tomorrow to be in this tournament, according to Joe Dumbass Lenardi. They take on the East Carolina team that's 15-17. Um, where you at today? Do you like South Florida's chances? -7.5 against East Carolina.
Um,
I think South
I
Florida should be in this tournament no matter what. But
I would agree as well. By the way, I just wanted to add in according to Sports Illustrated as of 2016, apparently the number one overall seed can choose its location. So that's something that's just like brand new, I believe. What I heard. I didn't want to throw it too far off topic, but schools with a potential chance at number one overall seed will have to look over 8 locations prior to seeding because I guess they can choose. I need to look. I need to obviously do more research on that, but that was one of the first few things I saw pop up. I just want to throw it out there just to like add it in because I guess it's a thing now. Because yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either, and I just heard that recently. I'm like, oh, you get to choose, but I don't know. I would take South Florida regardless, though, to answer your question because yeah,
was Purdue #1 ORC last year?
I don't think so. Actually, like if we're being totally honest, I don't think so because I think literally last year they got every time they got a one seed, they absolutely lost. I think this was the first year in a while where they actually kept the one seed because I think was a because yeah they I feel like they're probably number two or three.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming while you look it up, to answer your South Florida question, yeah, I think they should almost be in the tournament regardless of how good of a season they have. So I would have no hesitation taking the 6.5. You can put them against Alabama. Give me them 6.5. I'm just kidding. But no, in this game, I actually do think they should be liable to cover. They have a really good coach who potentially might be moving on after this season. I don't know how true that is, but I'm hearing there's a chance his name's getting put in some places that need people.
Hey,
Louisville.
I'm gonna be honest, man. That's the name of the game, baby. Turn a small school into a great school and then
Yep.
leave them in the dust. A
Yeah, I mean,
game that kind of baffles me, and no, none of these teams really need a win. But you got South Carolina taking on Auburn. Somehow Auburn's favored 7.5, 8.5, some places.
Some
How
people
does
just
South
know that the
Carolina
best.
plus the points not the best bet of the day?
they only lost. South Carolina only lost by 40 in Auburn last time these two played. So I mean, I won't lie. I was shocked to see it 7. I thought it was honestly gonna be 10, just simply from the last game they played. I'm all over the 7.5 here, South Carolina. This is one of those points. This is the point in the season. It's riding season for me. You ride to the wheels fall off. South Carolina. I actually have them also picked to win the whatever you call it, to win the SEC for fun. So I mean, instead of like sitting here and be like, oh, I could head to the other side and try to get my money, I'm just be like, we're gonna double down. We're either gonna be super happy or super sad. I just don't trust Auburn either. It's just one of the out of all the Auburn teams I've watched over the past few years, this is probably the one where I can't tell you a single player on their team. Is that my fault? Probably, but still, the fact that that's the case, I don't know. It feels like that I've known players on Auburn's teams, and they've always seemed to just have weird games where they just collapse. I don't know. There's a little stigma around them that makes me nervous every time I see the Auburn name in college basketball. And it started my senior year of high school, about 2017, 2018.
Nah, yeah, I kind of been waiting all season for Auburn to fall apart in March. I think this is when they start falling apart. Today, I think South Carolina wins outright. I definitely like the 7.5. Might even take some money line. But like you said, me and you both
Woo!
sitting on 50-1 tickets on South Carolina. Probably won't get too greedy today. I'll just take the points and hope
Right.
that they survive and advance. But I'm definitely on fade Auburn alert this week and next weekend for sure. Moving over to the Big East, this is a game that a lot of people are waiting for. St. John's have been an absolute powerhouse since Rick Pitino called them
Wow.
pansies. UConn
What
is
a
on a
game.
mission to prove they're the best basketball team in the planet. UConn's favored by 9.5 right here against St. John's. Whew, this is going to be either a good one, a great one, or UConn is going to beat them by 30 like they do everybody, and we're all just going to shut the hell up.
Right? I can't decide which one I want to be. 'Cause there's been a few of these games where it's just where it's like, just don't question, take the points. North Carolina should have not questioned it, take the points. What was another team we did? McNeese, the last two games they played, shouldn't have questioned it, just take the points. Like this is one of those situations where I'm just staring at it, it's like 9.5. It's like it's UConn at 9.5. Like I'll admit, the other day or UConn yesterday, that number dropped to 9.5. I'm like automatic. They just beat Xavier by like 15 or whatever it is. The only thing that scares me is St. John's has been one of the hottest teams as of late. And that's my big question. The big question I have with Purdue and UConn both is are they going to lose 0, 1, or 2 more games the rest of the season? I'm stuck about 1 with UConn, so I'm just curious. Are they going to lose sometime in this Big East tournament? I just don't. I think it'd be almost better suited for them to lose 2 a little bit in this Big East tournament, get a loss out of the way, kind of reset all the whatever you call it, reset all the systems and everything. But at the same time, it's goddamn UConn, man. They've been blowing everybody out. How can I not take them 9.5? That's a struggle. I don't
Uh,
know.
I
I
seen a
might
few
have to flip a
projections
coin.
where people got the Johnnies winning outright, and I just can't
Give me a
wrap my
second.
head around it. Tell,
I got it's tails. I got UConn minus 9.5. Heads was Johnny's plus 9.5.
that's how you do it.
Yep, give me UConn minus 9.5. I won't lie to you. There might have been a chance that coin was scripted too, and I flipped the teams as soon as I saw the way it was going to potentially land.
Hey,
I'm just playing.
get it how you
I,
live,
I don't
baby.
know. I think it's going to be a fun game. Either way, regardless. I think this is probably going to be one of the better games of the day. I hope at least.
Ohio State, one of my teams that I've kept an eye on pretty closely. They definitely need a win today against Illinois, and they might need another
Need a
win.
win.
I think they need to be playing on Sunday, win or lose on Sunday. They need to be in that championship game Sunday for them to be in this tournament. I think they have a team that deserves to be in the tournament. A win or loss record, I don't think so, but I think they're talented. They're going up against a tough Illinois team under Brad Underwood, 13th in the nation. It's going to be a tough one, but Illinois is only favored by 4.5. Ohio State took care of business easily yesterday against Iowa. We've seen them beat teams like Purdue in the last month and a half. You think Ohio State has a chance to really make a run at this Big East title, or do you think it all stops here against Brad Underwood and the Fighting Illini?
Man, Ohio State in the Big East would be pretty sick. I was just thinking about that for a minute. I'm just messing with you. I don't know, man. I like when I saw who was it, who did the bracketology? Who did that little list for us yesterday? Was that Joe Lenardi, our boy, or was that somebody else?
I don't know. What list?
I can't
Oh,
remember who made that little write up. Oh, it is whoever made the little write up yesterday. They said, according to whoever made the write up yesterday, assuming it's Joe Lenardi, they said Ohio State needs to for sure win 2 games. They've won one. I think I agree with you. I think this is as much win as it gets. Depending how they play Saturday, they could lose tomorrow and potentially be okay. But I think I'm kind of with you where they gotta keep winning. Their season just started off so horribly. It's crazy. You look at their record now, you see some of the stuff they have. It's like, man, if y'all could have gotten just to a little bit better start to the season, you guys might have actually been in an amazing position. Shout out this new coach. I forget what his name is. Heard it like 8 times last night. Can't even think of it, but he has completely turned his team around. The announcers tried to make it sound like it was the players also and the other people around the building. No, it was all this coach. I mean, they went from 14-11 to 19-12 with him. He 5-1 under him. He's completely turned around the team. They almost look like a new team. Defense is actually playing well. It's exciting, man. It's I don't want to say like it's almost like watching your kid finally figure out what the hell he's doing right. It's like, oh my god, because we watched this Ohio State team last year with Bruce Thornton. They had like in some of these same players. They had some potential. Like, oh, this might be a team next year, and they just couldn't figure it out. Now they get a chance to dance against. Only thing is it's against Brad Underwood, man. I don't know that boy Brad. You know he's gonna be yelling today. Minus 1,000. He's gonna reach his top vocal volume for sure.
Oh yeah. No, that boy Brad, he gonna get it done. Whatever he gotta do to get it done.
Aaron Shannon Jr. too. I mean, Illinois is super talented. This is gonna be a tough game for. This is definitely gonna be a lot tougher than Iowa. That's 100% sure.
Nah, definitely. Two other teams that have their backs against the wall, and not only that, hey, here's a top 10 team in the nation you got to play. Oregon, they get a win yesterday, barely by the hair of their chinny chin chin against the mighty mighty Bruins of UCLA. Today, here's Arizona. Uh,
Tough.
good job winning yesterday. Here's Arizona. Arizona's minus 11 and a half. And then another team, you can piggyback off Providence. Kim English and their boys taking
Man.
on Marquette today. Providence in desperate need of another win. Oregon in desperate need of another win. These are two primetime games tonight, two semifinal games. Winner of these games will be in the final of their conference tournament. And I think both of these teams need a win. Which one would you feel more comfortable backing, Providence or Oregon? Or both of them a hell no for you?
I think I might lean towards both of them. A hell no to me, just slightly because man, I love Marquette. Honestly, what I've seen from this year, I also have a future on Marquette to win the Big East. So semi biasly, no, I just Oregon. I think 10. I would take Oregon if I was going to take any team. Just 10.5 is a shit ton of points. I know how good Arizona is, but 10.5 is a lot of points. I know it's not football, by the way, either. For those people that I already know are out there thinking that. I don't know. I might just stay away too, regardless, just because I feel like Arizona. This could be a game. I can see Arizona win by 8, and I have to sweat it out of 10. Be like, all right, thank God that covered. Or they could win by 13. It's like I shouldn't even waste my time with this game. Should have been looking elsewhere, like Northwestern Wisconsin or something. So I might tend to honestly lean away from this game just simply for the fact that 10's a big number on both sides, kind of. But at the same time, Arizona won by like 500 yesterday or whatever it was the last game they played in.
The 21, it was pretty.
God, beat them boys up. And then Marquette's coming off a very tough overtime game yesterday against a very game Villanova, who was not very game against DePaul. So yeah, I don't. Providence has been very game in the last 2 games as well. They've looked really, really impressive. So I think this is going to be a. That's going to be another fun one. I have no clue, honestly. I don't actually. I don't want to pick it. So I'm just not going to. So I'm not gonna. So quit asking. Shut up. No, I don't know, man. That's good. That's tough. 4.5 seems like such a great number. It's 2.5. I slam Marquette. If it's like 6, I would love Providence. It's right in that middle zone. It's like, man, I'm like a dog that can't decide which owner wants to run to in the court. I don't know. Both these teams have been a little bit of a love to me this season. It's tough.
Yes, sir. Now going with the really, really, really late games. Two teams really, well, three teams out of these four I'm about to talk about, really on the bubble. All of them need a win. Kind of feels like Colorado State and New Mexico tonight is a win, and you're definitely in. Lose, and now you're sitting on the edge of your seat for the next 2 days. Colorado State, New Mexico, both of those teams. Colorado State's a little more comfortable than New Mexico, which is crazy to me. They both got the same record, both conference and overall. That game is definitely to me win and you're in, lose and you might not be. And I'm looking forward to it all night, all day. I'll be looking forward to that one. The
Colorado
other,
game or the Colorado State game? You said was
um,
winning. You're in.
I'm talking about both, but just now I was talking about Colorado State and New Mexico.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Colorado also taking on Washington State. Colorado, one of the last teams in right now. They definitely need a win. Washington State, however, is one of those teams I don't think anybody's given enough respect to. Them in South Carolina, I believe, can be an Elite Eight team this year, and nobody's gonna call it. Maybe except for me, and I'm not the smartest guy in the bunch, but I love Washington State here. Out of both of those games, we know Colorado State, New Mexico, both of them need a win. Washington State's pretty safe. You think Colorado comes with more energy and gets the win against Washington State, or you think Washington State still has a lot to prove as far as being underrated? I think they want to go
Oh,
out and win this Pac-12. This is the semifinal. You win this, you probably just got to play Arizona, who they've beaten already this season.
yeah. That's what kind of like where I'm leaning at as well. Where it's like, man, they just probably want to win out because they need to win. Colorado, if they lose, is Colorado getting bumped? You think? Like
I
they out of
think
the tournament?
I think they'll be holding on for dear life. They're one of the last four in.
So pretty much, we're looking at a loser leaves town match for both of these matchups. I'm not gonna lie, that's tough because yeah, I both these games are 2 point spreads too. So that pretty much tells you that the books are almost basically a coin flip on it. I'm almost very similar, man. I just don't know Washington State like that. I know Colorado's been really decent these last few games, but I just know that Washington State was making noise at one point, and then just something wasn't clicking, and now they've just been weird. It's just tough, man. I almost don't want to choose these games either. I just want to go home. Like, I'm done. I don't want
You
to do
just
this
want to get the
anymore.
bracket.
I just want to get the goddamn bracket, man. I'm tired of these games, man. No, I truly, honestly, for being real, sorry about that coin, by the way. I didn't realize it was in my hand. Um, in all honesty, I would probably, I mean, might as well go with the dog, right? That's kind of what I'm just thinking. Might as well go with the dog in both of these situations. Just simply for the fact that it's a conference tournament. We've been seeing the dogs been making noise. March is about the time where the dogs get barking anyway. And just like I said, Colorado at least has a chance to be safe. So I think there might be a slight little bit of more of an edge towards Washington State. And then when it comes to Colorado State, New Mexico State, I think that's just gonna be a fun war. That's the Mountain West. So that's a who the hell? That's more of a coin flip than a coin flip.
No, yeah, that's throw a coin down the stairs and go find it at the bottom and see what the hell it landed on. Definitely there's gonna be
Yeah,
two
it,
games I watch. I honestly I think today's the opposite of what this whole week's been. This whole week's been about dogs, buzzer beaters
I
coming
think
back
so.
from nothing. I think today's gonna flip on an axis. I think today we see a lot of these big favorites just kind of slam the door on a lot of these smaller schools' dreams. I think we see teams like Colorado just kind of fall apart. NC State kind of fall apart. Teams see if I can find some other ones here. Oregon fall apart.
I was
Uh,
thinking about NC State today. I
in
won't lie to you.
Indiana, Providence. A lot of these teams that's been holding on for dear life. Texas
Playing for like three or
A&M.
4 days.
Yeah, they've been playing since Tuesday with lose and go home. Pittsburgh's another one. North Carolina 7.5. Texas Tech, they're
Yeah,
kind of in regardless, but I think a lot of these schools, Ohio State might be the only one I really give a real true chance to. But even like St. Johnny's and yeah, I
fun.
think all these schools that's been playing for their life, I think today is where it falls apart for 80% of them.
I can see it. I mean, it is a mental battle to get yourself to like, all right, we got to win this game we're in. All right, I mean, like, I don't want to say like I don't want to put myself in these kids' shoes. I would say, but playing college football, like I pretty much you get the experience. You lose like one game, maybe two. You're like, with this, obviously, it's one and you're done. With college football, that's mostly, at least for us, we had 2 games. Usually, if you lost 2 games, you're probably screwed. So just the stress of like, We got to win this. We got to win this. And then as the season goes on, it's like, all right, we absolutely cannot lose now. We can't waste this season. So I mean, and for a lot of these kids, man, it's not like I'll admit for my school, I'm not going to say like we were guaranteed to win our conference, but we felt pretty confident, like, oh, we're going to run through this shit and then we're going to make the playoffs easy. A lot of these teams, it's like you said, they've been playing for 3 days. Their seasons were over, and all of a sudden, it's like we're back, we're back, we're back, and it's like, man, at a certain point, like mentally, it just gets worn out. The threes are going to start falling a little less. Like all of a sudden, you can be like, man, I know they got all these nice cold tubs and everything. I'll be like, man, my quads and hammies are kind of a little tight. My hips kind of hurting, man. The jumper's a little bit short today because the legs ain't getting up. Like we're gonna see, I feel like you said, a lot of that today because it wears on you mentally, man. Like it takes a lot to pull yourself pretty much from off the mat and then try to just pretty much just free swing and trying to get yourself back in the fight. Like it takes a lot of teams, man. Especially a lot of these teams. I don't think people realize they're starting to cut the benches. Like we're going 7-8 deep now too. So it's like these boys are getting heavy minutes multiple days in a row. It's getting tight out there.
Here's one of the best teams in the conference.
Oh, yeah, and then
here's Kentucky. Here's North
yeah,
Carolina.
and then you get teams like that. Like, oh, and then here's Illinois, who has a guy who can drop 40 at any moment. Here's a Tennessee team with a guy who can drop 50 at any moment. Here's a Purdue team that's been resting for 2 days and has a 7-4 giant. Like it's tough. It's tough.
Nah, I'm excited, man. About 3 hours before all the madness tips off today. Anything else you want to add, share? Anybody you want to root for? Any bets you want to give out? Anything before we get the hell on up out of here?
Oh yeah, shout out to us, by the way. I wanted to say that. You can tell we're waiting for that damn bracket. We ain't going an hour 30 minutes. We just trying to get up out of here. We want that bracket now.
Nah, about the time of year, man. Let's get this shit over with, wrap it up,
right?
Put a bow on it.
All right, it's like, all right, come on now. It's like week 17, 18, soon to be week 18 in the NFL. Where it's like, all right, we don't need this. Come on now, playoffs. But no, like I said, bring it back to college basketball because that's what we're really here for. Norfolk State, I'm going to keep Norfolk State. I'm going to keep an eye on them just simply because I have a four-leg parlay boy on them to have a future. Then when their conference is them, Princeton, Purdue. Oh shit, who's the last team? Grand Canyon, I think, was the fourth team. That was a fun little one. So those are going to be all teams I'm personally watching for my own pleasure. One team I'm for sure on. I'm shocked at numbers this way. Northwestern being 3-point dogs of Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat Maryland by like almost 30 last night, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, hey, Wisconsin beat Maryland by 30 last night. Like Northwestern, I think it's going to be well rested, slightly better, and Northwestern has Boo Booey, so I'm going to be looking for Northwestern to have a little bit of fun. Them plus money, I just absolutely love. This is one of the first things I saw yesterday. Bet the Purdue game. I didn't have to look to bet the Purdue game. First look, I see Northwestern plus 3.5, plus 140 or 150, whatever it is. It's like, that's juicy. Yeah, if y'all don't know me, we don't like Wisconsin around here. I'm about sick of that goddamn school. I'm telling you what. Tired of them taking my money for either winning or losing. Like, goddamn, man, for real. But no, I'm actually, in all seriousness, I'm looking for Northwestern today. Should be a fun game. That one we just talked about. Who was it? South. We just talked about Norfolk State. We did talk about Ohio State. I don't need to bring that one up like them. I have another one, North Carolina. I love that game. Probably gonna be on them 7.5. One of the, like we talked about earlier, just take the damn spread, boy. Just one of those take the damn spread, boy games. Might do that. Houston Tech should be fun. Kentucky, I'm curious to see what they bring. I have a buddy who's a Kentucky fan who's been really hyped about them winning the SEC. So for his sake, I'll keep an eye on them. Florida Atlantic, North Texas. That should be another good one. We didn't bring that one up. I'm semi-curious to see how that goes. A little small school battle. Your Grand Canyon boys, like I said, selfishly excited for them. And yeah, that's about. Other than that, two more I'm really excited for. NC State. Just curious to see if they can keep the train going. I'm probably not going to bet it, just simply for the fact that I didn't bet it yesterday. So no reason to lose against them yesterday and then lose on them today, right? And then last game, Baylor, plus 102 on the money line. Looks juicy, man. Not gonna lie to you. Looks a little bit juicy. So I'm probably gonna be 9:30 at night, depending how up we are. Young man might be on Baylor a little too hard.
No, I love it. Iowa State's right there with Auburn with me as a team. I'm just waiting to watch fall apart.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Iowa State is a good team. They play really, really good defense, but yeah, I'm with you. It just feels like at certain points, like, man, I've seen them win a lot of games in the 50s or 63 this. And it's like, yes, that will get it done until you play a team that shoots the lights out. But yet again, Baylor only scored 3 points in like 18 minutes yesterday. So
Hey,
there's a
one
world, I
by
guess, where it
one
happens.
by
But
14. That's all you gotta
one
do.
by four, bro. Speaking of people in the chat, I don't remember if we talked about this on the show or not. I'm pretty sure that's the pre-show thing. Man, I won't lie. Shout out to those people in the chat, man. Those dumbass boys, like, you really think Baylor's going to win this game? You really think Baylor's going to win? It's like it's 12-3. Yes, they're going to win. They're
Yeah.
only up. They're only up like 9. They're only up 9 with 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, since he's going to lose, and then all of a sudden, I don't lie. I didn't see any of them boys in the chat again after Baylor won. All them boys were very quick to get out of there. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's one of the best things ever. I would recommend looking at these chats sometimes, man. These boys,
I'd rather
wild.
kill myself. But I do get the humor in it. It is funny. But I mean, Cats that day, they're on Cincy against Kansas. Or they probably bet Kansas against Cincy lost, and not like, oh,
Yep.
Cincy's definitely beating Baylor. I'm betting Cincy against Baylor. Baylor wins, and they just hate the world. They go home.
My
punch a
favorite
hole in the
person,
wall.
right? I was say my favorite person in the world. I'm one of them too. Sometimes the people who live and die by almost every possession. Where it's 18,
my
there's
God.
17 minutes left the first quarter. It's like, oh, it's over. It's 12-3. It's over. I don't lie. I am that person sometimes,
I
but
know.
it's like,
I
hey, we
told
got a
my
whole
girlfriend,
basketball
I was
game.
like, bro, it's been about 10 times JCP texts me, and I think a game, like I'm at work or something, and I'm like, damn, we just lost. And I look, and we're up 12. Or, yeah, I think we win. I look, and we're
Bro,
down 12. I'm like, bro, what is he texting me about, bro?
Bro, I'm telling you, from what I'm watching in that moment in time, at the time, we're fucking done, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Nah, I love it. I
It's
get it
crazy, man.
now. But when we first started, yeah, I was like, damn, bro.
Oh yeah, no. It's one trust me, I've definitely I think gotten better than what I used to be. But it's just hard, man. Sometimes you just get so in love with the game that you're watching and you're living and dying. I'll admit, I think it was really bad when I was still transitioning from basketball to football, where it's like, hey, 7 points ain't that bad. It's not like you got to drive 98 yards and then get the 2 points to win. It's like you'll be able to get a little bit better. That's always a transition I forget. Because I'll sit here and be like, man, they're down like 12 right now. Like, fuck, this shit's over. And I'm starting to lean back, get pissed. And like, then all of a sudden, 11-0 run. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Like, bro, you can't even get mad. It's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. There's a chance that the team just doesn't score. Like, shout out Wisconsin yesterday, starting out the half on an 18-0 run. Holy shit. Us Maryland plus 20 betters. Holy hell. Thought that shit was a lot. Woo!
Nah,
Man.
it's definitely 14's about the number, I think, in college hoops. It gets over 14, yeah, you starting to get blown out. But as long as it's 14, 15, or close to 10 or something, like, nah, they gonna at least come back and have a chance to cover if you're on a dog. But as soon as it gets to 16, 18, you start seeing it hit 20, 21, that's when I'll be like, all right.
Yep, that's when it's like, this shit probably. If it's Syracuse against NC State, it's 5 points because the boys just can't get a goddamn defensive rebound. I don't lie to you. I love your Syracuse boys, but the fact that they couldn't get a goddamn rebound, I'm sitting there. It's like, man, you're just letting them get rebound. And then they were up most of the game too. That's what's even crazier. That's what's crazy about basketball too. Is sometimes you can have everything right about a game, and this team's just getting killed on one stat, and all of a sudden they're down 8. It's like, what? What's happening? Like, wait, what's going on?
It was about
basketball's crazy. You gotta love it or hate it.
Game when I finally gave
it's a great sport.
Maybe they're not coming back. But anyway, today we're going South Florida -6.5, taking on East Carolina, taking South Carolina, taking on Auburn. South Carolina plus the 7.5. North Carolina, bunch of Carolina stuff happening today. North Carolina -7.5, taking on Pittsburgh. Florida Atlantic -5.5 over North Texas, the Mean Green something Machines. And then we're gonna go Grand Canyon, GCU, the alma mater, taking them minus the 5.5 over Seattle.
By the way, AirPods disconnected for like 20 seconds. So you probably asked me a question when I was just nodding my head. I was just trying to act like, yeah, I hear you. Didn't hear you. Didn't hear a word. Came in like halfway through your bet's giving out.
That's all good.
That's
all I did. Give out my bets, baby. South Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Grand Canyon, all on the spread, baby.
Let me give out 2. Purdue -6.5, South Carolina plus 7.5. And Northwestern money line. Those are and Baylor money line. Those are the 4 official. Those are like the 4 things I'm officially on. So I forgot I had 4 bets, not just 1.
Nah, I love it.
And then also,
I like all your bets, man.
That should be a fun one. I mean, I like them too, so I hope they hit today. God damn it. I liked them yesterday, and some of them didn't. That's what's fun about college basketball, though, man. It's all
Reggie
good
General,
until they
baby.
go onto the court and then
Too
shoot 0 for
easy, it be
15.
greasy.
Right? Makes you love the game though even more when you have when the bad days turn into good days. It makes you love the grind even more. Makes you be like, oh yeah, that's why I do this shit.
Yes, sir. Man, it's a beautiful thing. Please take all these wagers at your own risk, and please, gamble responsibly. It's Captain by a Hook with the red beard, my man JCP here as every Friday from the JC Pod on YouTube. Make sure to check him out. I know he's going through cold withdrawals from football season, but hopefully the madness will give him a fix
We're
he
almost done.
desperately needs. Oh yeah, baby. Then we got the
We're almost out of bed.
long grind of baseball.
Man, 184,000 games. They play so many goddamn